Hi guys, it's April and I garden down in southeast Nebraska, zone 6A, formerly 5B, and I think I'm just going to take you around the garden today and show you a few of the small changes that I've been making here and there. Some things have had to be removed either because harvest time or the bugs are winning this year. But I'll probably just take you around and show you all the things that have changed in the garden for the last week. I'm going to take you this way to the first major change, and you can see it right away, is I had this volunteer squash, or whatever it was. I'm not even sure what kind of squash that was growing right here. I had found it in the middle of the yard, and then I had transplanted it over here, and it was doing fairly well. And then all of a sudden, it just conked out at me. Which means I now have this empty trellis. So all along here, you can't really see it yet, so I don't know why I'm showing you. I planted cowpeas. So I am hoping that at some point the cowpeas come up and I can just train them up this A-frame. But I am actually a little sad that I won't be able to figure out what kind of volunteer that was because it's now gone, and I am struggling so bad this year with squash. Oh, look it, I've got some strawberries. I think I need to pick at least one of these. There we go. Oh, if I can get it off. There we go. Ta-da! That's actually pretty good looking. So over here we can also see that the corn is doing really well right now. Both sets are looking very healthy, which I am happy about. We'll see if I end up regretting putting them in the support cages. I might, but we're already here, and I know Nebraska wind is gonna come through at some point. We're gonna get a storm, so I'd rather have the supports there. But it's still fascinating to see how different both of those are, even though they're the same corn and they were planted at the same exact time. Just shows you what compost and amendments and cover crops can do. The ground cherries are going nuts, and the okra is getting pretty tall. I did notice this is another volunteer squash, but I think it's a different volunteer squash because let me show you this one. Oh, there's a little bee. I don't want to disturb the bee, so I'm gonna let the bee do whatever it wants. I have zero idea what kind of squash that is. I have never planted anything remotely looking like that. So I don't think we'll be eating this, but we might use it for decoration depending on what it ends up looking like. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Do you have any guesses? I just haven't been successful in any variety of squash that is that color. And I'm going to turn around and you're going to see a big opening right here. As you can see right here, and can't really see right there because the tomato plants have flopped over and I need to reprop them. And then right here, all of the onions have been pulled. I have them curing up on my deck. I've never done it this way before. I've always just pulled them as I've needed them, and that's worked pretty well, but I've had so many onions actually make it this year that I'm trying the pull all at once method. We'll see how well that goes, or if I start losing things. Otherwise, I mean, The tomato plants are still going crazy. I do have to show you this though. This view right here with the zinnias and the water lilies and the fountain and liatris, what I believe the white cattail looking things are, and then the kiwi plants in the background. I absolutely adore this view right here. This is what I'm living for right now. I've got all kinds of zinnias. Look at that one. If I can turn, you will notice that Sunflower Alley is starting to happen this year. All of these are volunteer. I did not plant any sunflowers. How cute that is. We've got one tiny little sunflower. And then if you continue on, you get into the dense forest that is my butterfly weed and my milkweed and some hollyhocks. And I need to come through and probably cut off the seed pods before they actually start opening so the neighbors don't hate me forever. Otherwise, this is pretty intense. I know I've got, you can hardly see it, got some chamomile back there. Trying to do its thing. I do have a grass problem, but I don't know how to fix it at this point. So that's that. Of course, we've got the peppers, and I haven't noticed any Akote green squash. That's what this one is. She's spilling over, but I haven't noticed any fruit yet. So I'm still waiting for that. But otherwise, the pepper plants and these ones over here are getting fairly tall. And of course, putting on fruit. I do have to say that chickpea, I think I pointed these guys out last time. These just look so lovely. I love them. No flowers and no pods yet, so I'm still waiting for that. I'm gonna walk you back. Potatoes probably need pulled. They're flopping, but I don't know if I'm ready for that or not. Over here. Skipped over it a little bit. This is the jelly melon. You can see where I have a zucchini plant. I don't think that's gonna make it. I keep hoping, and I keep like pushing aside the vines so that it has room to get the sun and everything, but this is bad. Now the thing about the vines and some of these tomatoes is I'm hoping in a couple weeks, and I keep saying this, that we're gonna get some of this sod removed. And I have to find a way to get these vines out of the way of the workers, because everything is just floop, floop. I need to trim, I need to tie. I've been avoiding it because of the heat, but we finally got some cooler temperatures on the way, so probably early next week I should get a chance to come out here, because we're gonna start getting rain starting this evening and then all weekend, which the life of a gardener. carrots are just as bushy as the chickpeas. And I have beans coming in, which is exciting. Buried in there is the eggplant. I think you can probably see. There you go. A little aubergine. And then, of course, a couple of dwarf tomato plants. I don't want to walk through this because I haven't had time to come through and do any maintenance here, and it's so uneven that it's a little dangerous. So I'll take you around the other way. Looks like we have a tomato that I get to pick today, so that's exciting. Ooh, I can smell the dill from all the way over here because of the way the wind is blowing. But yeah, tomato plants. And then I'm bringing you over here because, yes, these potatoes need to be pulled for sure. But the pepper plants are starting to peek through after being stifled for a couple months. So that should be good. I'm going to take you over to the side of the deck so you can see the loofah plant because, oh goodness. So this is the loofah plant. You remember how many weeks ago, months ago, I was concerned that the loofah wasn't going to make it? Well, I think the loofah made it. It is definitely taking over the stairs, while at the same time these sweet potatoes are starting to take over. You can't see it. I can't really get a good angle, but they're starting to creep underneath the stairs too. So I'm gonna have to keep my eye on that. Otherwise, I've got some backup zucchini that I planted with you last time. Those are coming up. I should probably thin those out a little bit. And then on the trellises in the back, you can start to see them. I planted some runner beans. We'll see if they can outperform the loofah and not get shaded out. But these are my 2 extra peppers that I planted a couple weeks ago. And I don't think they've gotten any bigger, but they also haven't died, which is a good sign. Then we have the attempts at spinach. Those are the only 2 of a good old handful of seeds that are actually making right now. I might have to go through and plant another round. And then of course this volunteer tomato plant is going crazy. That tomato plant back there is actually 4. Haven't gotten any tomatoes off of it quite yet. It did plant some spinach seed there as well, but it was the strawberry spinach and I don't think it had enough oomph left in those seeds. So once again, I'll probably have to go through and attempt to replant, but otherwise the basil is enjoying life right now. Does look like I've got another strawberry that I'll have to run in and grab. Ooh, it's looking good. Otherwise, last part, I guess I can show you the additional okra and the zucchini plant that is still holding on, amazingly enough. And as always, the blueberry plants. Overall, that is the garden right now. So things are changing in the garden. We are definitely in the peak of summer, the hard part of summer. Tomatoes are really starting to come in and peppers are going through waves. Otherwise, I'm doing herbs. We have all of the onions, we have all of the garlic pulled. I'm just hoping for squash. My fingers are crossed for squash. I don't know if I'm gonna get. I'm really hoping. Here's to hoping. So if you want to follow me on my journey of this garden, I do try to do a video every week showing updates to this space. I like to have it for my record so I can go back and I can look at it. But if you also want to see this journey, subscribe down below, hit the bell, do all the things to get all of the notifications. I also have an Instagram and Threads account. If you want to check me out over there, I do a lot of harvest photos and things. Otherwise, I am just gonna do a little bit of maintenance around here and then I have to go to work. So I do hope I will see you again in another video in Our Two Beautiful Faces.